Today is Tuesday, September 28th, 2010, and I am interviewing Kenny Powell. Kenny is 65 years old. He was born on November 11th, 1944. My name is McKenzie Powell, and I will be the interviewer. Kenny is my grandfather. Kenny, could you please state for the recording what war and branch of service did you serve in?
I served in the Army and served in the Vietnam conflict.
What was your rank?
My rank was E5, which was a sergeant rank.
How many years were you served in?
I served in the Army for 2 years.
So, where did you serve?
I served in South Vietnam.
So you served in the Army. Where were you living at the time?
I was living in Lincolnville, Indiana, just down the road from the high school here.
How did you happen to serve in the war?
I was drafted.
What were you doing before you were drafted or enlisted?
I was working at Anaconda Wire in Marion, Indiana.
Did anyone else in your family serve in the military?
Yes, my dad served in World War II in Germany, and then I had a brother that was in Germany at the same time I was in Vietnam.
Can you tell me about adapting to military life physically or mentally? Barracks food, social life.
Yeah, I was, my father was pretty strict, so military life never bothered me too much. Being away from home, I was never away from home, so being kind of homesick was, that bothered me a little bit. The food, at home we ate what my mother fixed, or we didn't get to eat. So in the service, that's what you did. You ate what they fixed you, and so that really didn't bother me very much.
How did you choose the branch of service to serve in?
I didn't choose it. They was drafting into the Army at the time, and so I got drafted into the Army.
What kind of training did you have?
I had, like I say, I went through basic training, and then I went to advanced training in Fort Knox, and then I went to signal school in Fort Gordon, Georgia, just before I went to Vietnam.
Friendship formed?
Yeah, we have a lot of the guys around here I was drafted with, which was good friends. But then I made friends in the service when you'd be in basic. Every time you changed different duty stations, you made friends. And then in Vietnam, I was in the 203rd Signal Detachment, and there was 8 of us that lived in a tent, and we were just attached to larger companies for food and logistics. And I was after I was there a while, I was attached to the 604th Transportation Company, which was in the largest helicopter maintenance company in northern Vietnam.
Where did you serve?
I served in Pleiku, which was in the Central Highlands of South Vietnam. I was in a old French Army base called Camp Holloway, which had a metal runway there in the there. So we had airplanes and helicopters and everything there.
Action or duties away from the front line?
Now I was, of course, the front line was every place over there. So, but the action, I mean, we got hit. So you you were on the front lines. They tried to overrun us a few times, and so there was not, like in World War II, there was no front line in Vietnam. I mean, so you fought the Viet Cong and the Vietnamese right outside your door all the time.
How did you stay in touch with those back home?
Yeah, we mostly letters, and that was, golden over there. I don't know how you could survive without a letter. And then sent pictures from home. My wife and my mother, and then I had a neighbor, Rose George, wrote me letters and pictures every week. So I had a lot of letters.
How long did it take you to get one letter?
It took about I'm thinking a week or week and a half to get over there to you.
Why?
From the time it was written.
Here's one more question. Were you allowed to have packages with stuff
Yep,
in
we had packages, and of course they purified all the water over there. So we got Kool-Aid. That was the main thing. And anytime you rode home, you said send Kool-Aid. So we drank a lot of Kool-Aid.
What did you do for recreation off duty?
Yeah, of course over there you're on duty all the time, but when you weren't doing your job and you had some free time, we played cards, and then we played football. If there wasn't a monsoons, you was kind of inside when the monsoons for 3 months over there. But we played a lot of cards, and so that was a main thing.
So was there any TV over there in your room, or what did you do?
No, TV had, when I left, they were just getting TV over there. That some of the people, the officers, had TVs shipped in, but there was no TV station. So, Armed Forces had like a TV thing that when I left there in April '67, they were just starting to get TV.
In the cabins where you guys lived after you guys got done, was it like a cabin, or was it like more like a civilization?
It was a tent. I lived in it was probably 25 foot long and 15 or 20 foot wide army tent, and with the sandbags all up around the sides of it, and you had your little cubicle for your bunk, and a locker to keep your clothes on and stuff is all you had. And for a while we didn't have cement floors in it. We had to have pallets on the floor so that when the monsoon came, the water run down. I've laid my bunk and watched 6 inches of water run underneath my bunk when the monsoons was coming, before we finally did get to put some cement floor in. And so that was a plus. Then we got it up where we could drain all the water away from us, so it kept things dry. But during the monsoons, nothing stayed dry. I mean, it rained solid for 3 months, night and day. So people around here think that it rained for a couple of days would be undesirable, but up there, when it rains for 3 months, it's miserable.
What did you do, like, if you got in trouble for your punishment?
We didn't. You have to stay on guard duty and stuff, and they would, I guess, if you did something bad, they would probably pull you and send you into the brig or something. But over there, I didn't know anybody that went there, because it was punishment just being there, So.
Did you do any time away from there?
I did. 1 week I went to Tokyo, Japan on R&R, and with a friend. He had extended over there, so he got to go to Tokyo. And but I went to Bangtao, which was in-country R&R. So, but I was pretty lucky because I got to fly all over the country. I had flight status to pick up parts and everything for radios that we repaired, and so I got to see just about the whole country. And it's a beautiful country. The Bangtao is like the French Riviera. I mean, it was seascapes on the Red Sea, and so it was a beautiful country as far as just looking at it. But it's a shame that we had to blow it up the way we did.
Did you get to come home and, like, when your wife was in the hospital, did you get to come home and see her?
No, I was married 9 days before I went over there, and she stayed back here, and so all I got to do, I got to talk to her on the phone once in a year, and I got letters every week from her.
So you didn't come home?
No.
You didn't get leave?
You don't get to come home.
No, I meant for, like, birth and stuff.
No, we didn't have any kids or anything, so no.
Were you still off overseas when the war ended?
No.
Where were you?
No, I come back in April '67, and it was quite a few years after that before the war was over.
How did you return home?
Commercial airplane through St. Louis, Washington. I come in there and finally got a steak and some milk wet and powdered, and it was really, really desirable.
Reception by family or community?
Yeah, I had. I flew into Indianapolis, and my wife and my brother, I think, picked me up, and then all of my family, they were there waiting on me when I come home. So it was really nice.
What did you wear to the army? What did you wear on the way to the airport?
Well, I had my army clothes. When I went in, you had your regular fatigues. I mean, your regular clothes, but they give you your clothes when you first get in. You had your fatigues that you did, and then when I come home, they give you one suit of clothes to come home in.
Did they give you like a pair of sweatpants or stuff?
No,
like
they just you had your regular dress uniform that you come home in.
Oh, all right. How hard was it to return home to the civil lives?
It really wasn't hard. I was looking forward to it, so I just kind of took over where I left off, and just glad to make it through it and go on with your life.
So, what did you go to college after you got out of
No,
the Civil War?
just went back to work at the. I think I went to work at the county highway, and for my father-in-law worked out there, and so I started there until Anaconda was on strike when I come back. So they went back to work before I went back over there.
Are you a member of any veterans organizations?
Yep, I'm a member of the American Legion. Have been for 40 years probably, and was commander of the American Legion in Van Buren for a couple years. I've transferred over to Wabash now.
Any contacts with fellow veterans?
No, I haven't. I've always thought about that, but like I said, there was 8 of us, and I tried a couple times, but I've never been able to contact any of them. Now that I'm retired, I may try to do that and see if and the computers are better now, so I might be able to find some of them.
Don't you still stay in contact with your brother Steve? You said he was in the military.
Yeah, my brother. I talked to a lot of them and I've met with my job that I had. I met some that was there at the same time I was. So there's veterans every place, and I'd like to talk to them. You find out, other people that they were there, and they're glad to talk to one another like that.
How has been in the military life affects your life?
It just makes me appreciate freedom here. When you see the people over there that are suppressed by communism and not be able to do the things they want to do, and that you just really have a good feeling of freedom here, and appreciate it a lot more than you would if you didn't go there, I think.
Did you learn a lesson there in the military?
Oh, often lessons. My dad was really strict and stuff, so and I've heard talk, what he went through, and so, I didn't go near through what he did, and So I guess respect other people and other people's things, because the military, you take care of your stuff and you help, take care of your fellow, uh, you know fellow brother that was in there.
Yeah.
And so you don't, you treat other people the way you want to be treated. That's the way, and the service kind of teaches that.
Did you guys have a motto at the military like that you had to follow?
We had, not a motto that you speak of. You had your general orders and stuff that you followed. There's things you did and didn't do the service. So you had to know your general orders and chain of command, and you respected all of that.
Is there anything you forgot to ask, or is there any stories that you'd like to tell about the military?
Well, not really. It was rough for a year over there, but I made it back, and we paid a big price for what we did over there. But once the Americans go into a place and show the people there the freedom versus communism, they could never go back to doing living the same way they lived, because they see it a better way. And so no matter, they say we lost, but we really didn't lose, we won. So that's
Did you ever have to pay for anything? Did you pay for your clothes, or did they pay
no,
for everything?
no, Army pays for everything. Matter of fact, they pay you a few dollars a month to stay in there. Not very much, but so they pretty much take care of you.
Thank you for letting me interview you, and thank you for serving our country.
Thank you.